That's going. That's going.
Where are we going? You want to tell everybody where we're going? What are we doing?
Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going?
So you can probably already tell from the title that we're about to leave from New York in quarantine and go down to Florida, where we were quarantined at our home down in Florida. We have been stuck in our house right now for about 6 weeks. And we figured that since we were quarantining up here and we had to do some things down in Florida, we were going to make the best out of the quarantine and go down to Florida, go be by our pool, go hang out, make her happy because she's been waiting to get out for about 6 weeks now. We have plenty of masks. I have a fully gassed up truck right now. We're planning on taking 2 stops for gas. That's about it. That's all we have to do is 2 stops for gas and to walk her. Possibly go to the bathroom ourselves if that allows. We have the truck packed. We have the Jeep packed right now with all kinds of food, coolers, all our clothes, everything that we possibly need if we get into an emergency situation, jumpers, all kinds of good stuff to get us back on the road and not have to really deal with anybody and keep socially distanced at that point. Like I said, we got a lot of masks, we have gloves, we have disinfectant, we have all that stuff. So if anybody is going to say anything in the comments,
we're prepared.
Yes, and we are going right from our garage right now to our garage in Florida. Yes. Like I said, 2 stops, 2 potential stops at a gas station place. But we're stopping for food at Biscuitville. You guys know about Biscuitville. She doesn't know about Biscuitville. She's about to find out about Biscuitville in about 8 hours.
It's what's keeping my energy going. I woke up, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning or 3:30 in the morning right now, and I'm so exhausted, but I'm like thinking that I'm going to try Biscuitville for the first time in 8 hours, so I'm pretty excited.
It's well worth it. Like you guys have heard from me in my Instagram stories, possibly on this YouTube channel right here. I have talked about it a lot. I have talked about it to almost everybody I've ever come across that we were going to come across a Biscuitville. We got to stop at Biscuitville. So we are going to stop at Biscuitville. We're going to get our asses down to Orlando, Florida, go hang out down there at the house, and we'll check in with you guys on the road. Let's get it.
She always runs out. Come on, we're going in this car. Come on. How to pick her up. Come here. Come here. Say hi and bye. Go. Good girl.
Getting out of the house.
It's nice.
Yeah,
I always say like getting in the car and just going for a drive is like a vacation nowadays.
We normally don't look forward to this ride down to Florida. Normally Christy doesn't have to make it. Usually I'm a couple weeks ahead of her and she usually flies in and meets me down at the house in Florida. But now we're doing the ride together and we're willingly doing it, kind of, because we actually want to leave the house and we actually want to be out of the house for a little while. We don't want to be cooped up in the house in Florida for just like we were in New York. But unlike our house in New York, we actually have a pool there and 90-degree weather. So if we're going to be quarantined at a home of ours, we're going to do it down in Florida, which we should have done a while ago, but I was kind of uncertain as to where this whole thing was gonna go, and our primary residence is up in New York and that's where all our shit is. So I wanted to make sure that we had all that stuff locked down. It kind of seems like everything's going pretty well right now. Florida has opened up at this point. Georgia has opened up at this point. So
has Florida opened up like their...
I mean, they had their beaches and their parks opened up. I'm pretty sure.
And stuff, I don't think.
I know. It's not. They're slowly starting to open those things up. I think they're figuring out a plan of action as to how to get the restaurants and stores reopen and things like that. But I do know that they are starting to do that, and they did not have a lot of cases of COVID down there. Also, we've been quarantined for 6 weeks, so we know that we don't have anything. We have been to the store maybe 3 times, ran inside, it hasn't been packed. We haven't even had to wait outside there hasn't been an issue with 6 feet of distance between anybody because there hasn't really been that many people around us. We picked good times to go out. We haven't interacted with anybody, haven't had anybody over our homes, haven't had anybody, haven't gone anywhere, you know, haven't done anything, much like you guys. You guys know we were gonna go to New Mexico, which we probably should have just went to New Mexico because there were literally like no cases out in New Mexico. But like I said, I didn't know what the country was gonna look like. I didn't know what our home was gonna look like. New York was a hot spot, so it could have gotten really, really bad there. It still can get really bad. I'm not gonna say that we're out of the woods right now, but I am gonna say that I feel a lot better today about going down to Florida and hanging out at my house for a couple of weeks and waiting this thing out than I did 6 weeks ago. I've also stopped listening to the news. But we're in New Jersey right now for the first time in about 2 months. We're outside of New York, which is a rarity in and of itself, and it kind of does feel good, and we still have 15 hours ahead of us. So I'm going to sleep because I got about an hour and a half's worth of sleep. She's gonna drive. I guess we'll see at the first gas stop because that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be the first gas stop. So we'll see at that spot. How you doing, baby girl? You good back there? Just rolling? You're not gonna ask us to go in the car for a long time after this.
Every single time I put it, she turns her face. she's like, no pictures.
Hey.
She don't want it.
Masking up and gloving up for the first stop. This is the first stop outside of New York in 2 months.
Where are we right now, Maryland?
Yep, we just crossed over into, actually we've been in Maryland for a little while. We just passed the Cal-Ripken, I'm so tired right now. The Cal-Ripken Baseball Stadium, if you know where that is, off of 95. That's about where we are in Maryland right now. About to gas up. I'm all
ready to go.
I'm all done up for it right now. Here we go. Nothing is open. I don't think the inside of this isn't open. Nobody's around. This is the strangest I've ever seen it. I don't even need this mask on. I'm just whatever. But this is the most uncrowded I've ever seen this trip down on 95. It's pretty insane. Usually this place would be packed with cars. This is a major rest stop right here.
Well, it's also early on Sunday morning, so...
Yeah, but this is the time where everybody would be from about 5:30 in the morning till about 9 o'clock at night. This place would regularly be completely mobbed with people. Especially the inside of this place right here. There would be people all over getting coffee right now. There's powder on these gloves. I hate it. My hands are so dry from washing them so many times. I gotta say, it does feel really, really good to be out again. I haven't been locked up in the house for that long. I'm sure nobody's really been locked up in the house for as long as we've all been locked up in the house for, but I was really starting to go crazy inside of my house. I really needed to see the road again. I didn't know what was gonna go on. It was really, really, really confusing. I'm sure it's confusing for everybody out there, but just being back on the road kind of gives me some sort of regularity, even though I'm just making like a beeline directly to my house in Florida. It feels so much better to be outside of my house. It feels so much better to be out in the air. I was starting to feel so weak and so down inside of my house. I didn't know how to combat that. So the only thing I could think of is just get down to Florida and then nice, drier, definitely warmer. It's 90 degrees down there, like I said before. So it's definitely warmer. It's definitely drier because I haven't heard of any rain, but it is Florida. It will rain from time to time, sporadically. But yeah, I just can't wait to get down and just sit down by my pool, sit outside. And Kona, she really wants to be outside. So we just want to go sit in our lanai right next to our pool. But first gas station stop, done.
Now we have about, I think 4.5 hours till we get to Biscuitville. We've been driving for about almost 3.5 hours. So.
Normally all this would be packed with people.
Yeah, there's nobody around.
Nobody. Only truckers. I wonder if they're able to grab any quote. I guess you can go inside.
Yeah, it's open in there. All the signs leading up to the service stations are saying face coverings are required at any service station. So they have them open for people. I'm sure everybody, you know, people still need to use the bathroom, grab something to eat, coffee or whatever. But they do want you masked up. Oh, there's some more cars over here.
Yeah, but usually, like I said, usually that's filled.
Yeah.
And usually that's filled too. About 45 minutes left to go. So
49. I've been looking like every minute. I'm hungry, I'm tired. I'm ready to go in the passenger seat because I've been driving for 8 hours.
Well, as soon as we eat, I'll take over driving.
Yeah, the eating is the major part. I don't mind driving. I could keep going because I just have it in cruise control anyway. But I'm hungry. I was hungry when I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning. And I haven't eaten anything. All I know is that Biscuitville better be worth it because Rob has been talking about it for years now. So we're gonna find out in about 48 minutes.
Second gas station stop, North Carolina. We're about 15 minutes away from Biscuitville. Old ass gas station.
It is. So this is like one of the cheaper rides we're taking down to Florida because gas is so...
Yeah, definitely. Right here it's $1.53. Out where we were was what, $1.99?
93, I think it was.
So, really cheap right now. I haven't seen this since I started driving.
Sort of a rapid test for COVID, not even like the 15-minute one that we made, because I heard something about some...
We made it! Wait, which way do I go? We go this way. We made it to Biscuitville. It actually looks kind of cute.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah, it looks nice. Like, look at the like sliding barn doors. Check it, check it, check it. It's pretty cool.
It's like a farm.
All right, so what are we doing, babe? Hi, can I have 2 spicy chicken and honey combos?
Would you like a hash brown and a tea with those?
Yes, please. And can I do one with a coffee? I sense New York when I say that.
Alright, what else can I get for you today?
And then can I have 2 orders of the biscuits and gravy? So we got our food. Rob suggested I get the spicy chicken sandwich, spicy chicken and honey biscuit. I'm not normally a person who eats like chicken and biscuits or like chicken and waffles, but we're gonna give it a shot. It looks pretty good. Feels good. Okay. That's pretty good.
Okay. I told you it'd be good.
Wow.
Is it a good biscuit?
It's a really good biscuit. I'm a sucker. Excuse me, I have to finish. I'm a sucker for a good biscuit, and this is definitely a good biscuit. Wow.
Told you.
It was worth waiting and driving 8 hours for this right here. Okay, I'm happy. It really is so good.
To anybody that's ever been to Biscuitville with me, or has ever had Biscuitville whatsoever, and you can't attain Biscuitville right this very minute, I feel sorry for rubbing this in your face. Because it is so good. Biscuitville, everybody. Do you love Biscuitville also, Wiggy? Is it really good?
You like it? She eating the whole thing.
Yeah.
Good girl.
It'd be amazing if you could just test people right before they come into your restaurant and they don't have to worry about shit. You know?
Gearing up for what the new
Rob's turn to drive.
temperature.
Yep, I get to drive. The rest of the 8 hours. Usually I'm driving about 16, 17 hours myself, so this is about nothing.
Currently 2:21, so we should arrive in Florida about 10 o'clock.
1 or 2 more gas stops. We did that one, the last one that you saw. We just stopped at a rest stop to let the dog out real quick. I had to yell at a guy for getting too close to me, asking for money and stuff, but whatever. Got to wash my hands real good. We've been washing our hands, obviously. We've been sanitizing, wearing our masks, doing all that stuff that we have to do, you know, to keep everybody safe and clean and ourselves safe and clean. And on a good note, Josh is pretty mad that we went to Biscuitville, so there you go. Her first stop at Biscuitville, and we got to get that knife into Josh's stomach a little bit. So
Yeah.
for all those of you guys that hate Josh out there, we got him.
Temperature is low. It's real weird.
And that's what's going to be honest. I mean, there's a certain series of things that we have to do. It's, nobody knows for sure or whatnot, but who knows?
Well, at a certain point in time, I think we really need to make a decision as to.
We just bypassed all that traffic thanks to Google Maps. We're gonna go to the highway, which is completely empty on that side. Saved us 16 minutes.
Weakened immune system. You're going to have a different life than someone who doesn't. If you're a person with a weakened immune system, you're going to have a different life. If you're an older person, you're going to have a different life. But for the vast majority of us, we're going to have to give people the freedom to make choices and to do what they want to do.
So we made it to Dillon, which is south of the border, which if you did not know, that is the borderline of North Carolina and South Carolina. That's a hot dog. I tell you what, this place is a lot more packed than the last time I was here with Josh, Max, and Seth. We were here at about, it was really late night at that point in time. It might have even been closer to midnight, but there was absolutely nobody in this parking lot at all, and there were nobody in the stores or anybody doing anything really. So there's a lot more action here today. So the last time it was more like a lockdown situation. This time it's kind of like it looks like a mediocre kind of like a day that you would catch in like the winter time. You know, you wouldn't really see very many people stopping here to hang out at the reptile shop or grab Mexican hats or anything like that. So yeah,
Kona's favorite spot because she loves tacos and tortilla chips.
yeah, you like that? See the taco sign?
She loves hot tortillas.
You're a little chili dog, that's why. That's what that is. That's not a hot dog, that's a chili dog. Spaceship Earth. It's pretty cool actually. It's like if you were coming from a very far distance, like if you were coming from Canada or something like that, you might want to stop here overnight and stay. And it's kind of like getting Disney World halfway to Disney World. So yeah, I've never been on this side of the street.
got like little pink flamingos all in the front. I like those little guys. They have them lined down the street, like all different variations.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Okay. Where'd you just go, babe?
I
Where'd you
went
just
over
drive?
the wrong lane.
Cigarettes kill 500,000 people a year. There's no government mandate that's trying to get people to stop smoking cigarettes. In fact, there's not a single word ever spoken about presidential campaigns, government campaigns, congressional campaigns.
We stopped at McDonald's. It's 7 o'clock. I needed a caramel frappe. We have eaten out twice today. We have not eaten out in 6 weeks since this whole like quarantine thing started. So literally Biscuitville was the first thing that we ate outside of the house of me cooking food or us making sandwiches or whatever. And so then we stopped at McDonald's. So it's twice in one day that we ate out, and we haven't done that in 6 weeks. So I love a caramel frappe from McDonald's. It's provides the energy that I need to continue driving. We have about, what, 4 hours left?
Yeah.
4 hours left till we're home. We just went to the gas station and we forgot to film this gas station and also the last gas station. So we made 2 additional stops than the 2 that you have already seen. And I think are we gonna have to stop one more time?
They weren't actually like full-fledged gas station stops. We just kind of had to stop to walk the dog and either walk ourselves.
Yeah.
And so I just decided to fill up while I was able to get reasonably priced gas. Everything's reasonably priced, but particularly here in Georgia and South Carolina and even North Carolina, we were looking at $1.50s and things like that. I don't think that it'll be like that in Florida, although Florida does have relatively cheap gas prices year-round. And we're not even really encountering anybody. Nobody really wants to talk to you because of what's going on with the, you know, social distancing and all that stuff. But I don't really like talking to people while I'm out on the road anyhow. So the least you want to talk to me while I'm in the store, that's just fine with me. I can go on and carry on about my day, and I'm making great time right now. We're gonna be under 20 hours to Florida with the stops that we made. We made, like I said, multiple gas stops, a couple of food stops. We stopped over at south of the border. We walked the dog a couple of times. So we're doing pretty good. 19 hours on the road with relative, like if you add them all up, combined full-on stops, 4 full-on stops, which usually adds about an hour's worth of time. So we're doing really good.
But it's not most people. You know, the vast majority of people that are going to get this are not, it's not going to be fatal. We have to figure out how to protect the people that are high risk. But to quarantine the whole country, it just seems like maybe it was a good move to do initially, but we can't sustain that. So now we have to figure out how to move forward. And there's all these protests all over California.
So there were signs that showed like a COVID checkpoint 4 miles ahead back there. And now they have all the cones making everybody go into the truck weighing station where possibly they're gonna screen us. I don't know. We brought our mortgage statement just in case. So we can show proof that we have a house in Florida. So we'll see what happens.
I kind of heard about these checkpoints. I kind of thought that they were over with since they opened up Florida and Georgia, or opened up Florida and Georgia. So I guess we'll see how this goes. I really don't want anything getting stuck on my nose.
Not even that. Hopefully, I don't like be like, you gotta go home. New Yorkers are not welcome.
Yeah, right?
Where you guys coming from? What
New
state?
York.
New York?
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to put your hazard lights on, please.
Sure. Where's my hazard?
Probably. You got them? All right.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is we're going to direct you over here to the white tents.
Okay.
All right. Follow to stay to your right. Follow the orange cones around the lake, and we'll get you right there.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank
Fill out
you.
the paperwork, no big deal.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Thank you.
Wow. So they're gonna have us go all the way around to those tents over there. Those tents.
Somebody said they had a football, they had cards.
Which is cool. I mean, it adds for content, that's for sure.
Give me my mask. A mask. having us go around to some white tents where they'll probably take our temperature, maybe ask us some questions. The moment I said, he says, what state you come from? I go, New York. He's like, put your hazards, put your hazards right on. We're a hotspot state, but we have been quarantined. We quarantined ourselves for 6 weeks. We gotta fill out paperwork, the guy said.
In 3/4 of a mile, take a slight right turn to merge onto
Why do you have me put
I-95
my
South.
hazards on? Oh, should I leave them on?
Yes, so.
Yeah, because we got a New Yorker in front that we have hazards. We gotta put hazards on. We're hazardous. We're hazardous. Kona, what do you have to say about this? What are all these people doing? Wiki? I hate wearing these because they fog up my glasses.
I'm gonna be not a smart aleck. Okay. Hey, how are y'all?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just go ahead and fill this out. You coming from New York, you said?
Yep.
Okay. So our governor, if
Mhm.
you read that, you can take pictures of all this.
Okay.
Just fill this out for me, and you're just visiting or
Yeah, we're
second
gonna
home,
stay
right?
here. Yeah, we're going to our house for.
Okay.
I have to be at work for a couple weeks,
No,
so.
you're fine. Put anybody in your car.
Okay.
Obviously, you can read this. Obviously,
Yeah.
we want you to.
Yep.
Sign it, date it, and then you're good to go. Okay.
So they just want you to fill out paperwork. They want documentation that you are here. So I guess it might be trace scanning. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it's for. It doesn't really matter to me. We're just gonna get through it. We're gonna fill this out.
All right, so that was that.
So basically that stated that we can't go out of the house for the subjected amount of time, which is 2 weeks, to self-isolate and quarantine ourselves. Like I said, we've been quarantined. I will probably be leaving. I'm not exactly sure whether or not I am leaving or not, but I'm definitely not staying at the house the whole time that I'm down here. So basically they make you stop there.
They say if you get convicted, like if you get caught outside of where you said you're gonna stay, they could put you in jail for 60 days, or you can get a fine no more than $500, or both.
Yeah, so I'll probably end up going out, but I don't know. I mean, I don't have any reason to go out or anything like that, so it doesn't really make a difference. I think we're all good. It doesn't, I think that protocol right there.
Merge onto I-95 South.
I think that protocol right there actually makes people have to confront other people and gets people closer to each other than they need to be.
14 miles, take exit 362A to merge onto I-295 toward Beltway East.
So yeah, so that's what we had to do to get into Florida right there. Great, awesome. You ready? You ready? You want to get out?
There's a dog there. Hang on.
We'll wait for the dog real quick. You won't go after the dog anyhow. Ready? Wanna go see? Where are we? Where are we? Are we in Florida? We're in Florida? Yeah, we're in Florida. Somebody left a nice stain on my floor. Anyhow, alright, well, we're in Florida. We're in Florida. We're in Florida. We're in Florida. What are we doing here? What are we doing in Florida? What are we doing in Florida?
What are you doing? What? I left the window open.
You love it here?
What, did we get a power outage or something?
I guess so.
Oh, look, cute little. They leave little soap. Where's our Keurig? What'd they put?
It's probably under the camera.
You know, these management companies, they be putting things like places where.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You remember here, right?
Oh, there.
You remember it here, right?
Hey, you remember this house? You remember? You remember? You remember? What do you want to do? Oh, take it easy.
Calm down.
Take it easy. We're getting you excited. I know we're good. It's okay. Oh, relax.
Good
relax,
girl.
Relax. Come here. Come here. Get it. Go. Get it. Go. Get it.
All right, so pretty much without any problems or any real interference outside of the actual state of Florida itself, we made it down to our home here in Orlando.
Yeah,
so
pretty
yeah,
much with no hassle and
no hassle.
good timing.
I'm kind of wondering what's out of place because this is a rental property. For those of you that do not know what this place is, this is a rental property, pretty much like our favorite vacation spot is Disney World. And we wanted to buy an income property for ourselves, and we figured what a better place to do it than someplace that we love to go. So this is why we're here right now.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I want to go investigate. I haven't been here since the beginning of December. We did have some work done. So there are some things that are going on. Like Christy said before, the management company always likes switching things up on us. They kind of miss little things, but I'm kind of anal. And I don't like things out of place.
But it does look clean, so I'm happy about that.
It's definitely clean.
They didn't know we were coming. We kind of like to do these little sneak drop-ins.
Always.
Yeah.
Always, if you're running a rental property and you have a management team cooperating things for you, then what you want to do?
Catch them off their toe.
Yeah, you want to drop in. I never ever tell them that I'm coming.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
But this was they don't know.
So anyhow, we made it here safe and sound from New York to Florida during quarantine. Pretty much quarantined ourselves the whole entire time. The only times we had to encounter anybody was when we crossed into the state of Florida and people approached our car to have us sign paperwork for whatever reason. But like I said before, we will not be going out. Like I said, when we were up in New York, we were quarantined up there. We just figured that we get in the car and go from one driveway to the other driveway with 4, maybe 5 stops without having to encounter anybody during those stops. And we will be here next to our pool in the 90-degree sun without it chilly and hot and rainy and chilly and hot and rainy and all that other stuff that New York weather does in the springtime that we hate. So anyhow, guys, we hope you enjoyed this
Traveling
trip.
with us, yes.
And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Say peace. Say peace. Say peace. Yay!
Say bye.